Something a little bit different today. Ben's garage video, but since I did the collaboration with Sam a month or two back, I sent him a load of chili products. He put out a little piece in one of his videos that we was a Mad Dog chili farm, and we was doing this and we was doing that. Last year we had a disastrous year for chilies. Out of 350 seeds, only one plant actually survived and grew any fruit, and that was a jalapeno, and we got about 10 chilies off of that, so pretty much a disaster. But we do have a lot of chilies in the freezer from the previous year. So when Sam put that video out, I got quite a lot of interest on the Mad Dog Chili Farm website, and I've had to sort of say to some people, we can't really do it because the shipping costs now. Obviously shipping food is a bit tricky, but shipping stuff back to the UK, it's just not economically viable. However, there are some local subscribers or local viewers that have been in touch and requested some products off our little itinerary. Now we haven't got a lot of stock in, so I'm making a fresh batch of our super famous chili relish with red onions. So I'm going to get the side wipe down, get my gloves out. We do stuff here properly. It's all nice, clean and sanitised. And I'll show you how we make this chili relish, so you can make your very own at home. I think you can get chilies and stuff in supermarkets nowadays anyway. So what you're going to need to start with is a kilo of red onions. So I always weigh the onions after I've cut the ends off and peeled them, and then you know you've got a kilo of onions going in the pot. But I'll tell you what we're going to use. It'll all be in the description below. I say it's a totally different video, but it's sort of like just one of the daily vlog things. I'm trying to keep it nice and short. And yeah, so let's crack on. So you'll notice that a kilo of onions that you buy doesn't become a kilo of onions when it's chopped them, when you've cut the ends off and peeled them. So there's a couple of ordinary onions in here as well. So we're going to dice all this lot now. So that's my next job. It's not a good start, is it? I've only cut one onion up and I'm crying already, so I'll get back to you when I've got the rest cut up. I feel like that old girl on the Kleenex advert. There you go. That's a kilo of onions chopped up, ready to go. So next step, I don't know what it is, but let's carry on. Which one are we on? Got the fire going. Right, tablespoon of butter, tablespoon of olive oil, just going to let that melt. That will look quite a lot in there, but that will all cook down. Leave that on a medium heat, keep stirring it till the onions are soft and translucent. While that's going on, I'm going to chop some chilies and a bit of garlic. Now you could make this without chilies, but what's the point of that? This is a chili onion relish. Now the particular customer that's requested a couple of jars of this is not too up on the spicy end of things, so we're going to go for mild. So we've got some habaneros here. It is a bit of a trial and error to know how many to put in. If you're a bit uncertain about chilies, do half a batch of this and just try a little bit. And if it's not enough, you can always put a little bit more in. You can never take it back out, so bear that in mind. I'll probably put, I don't know, because there's a kilo and there's a lot of other stuff that goes in it, as you'll see. I'll probably put 4 habaneros in this, and that gets, hopefully that won't be too spicy. The one that I sent to Sam had Naga Viper. Now Naga Vipers are proper Scorchio hot scales. Habaneros are sort of in the middle, they're sort of about 300,000 Scovilles. For an example, a jalapeno is about 8,000 on the Scoville scale. Jalapenos might be a bit spicy for some. Habaneros around about 250 to 300,000. Something like a Naga Viper, you're getting 800, 900,000 Scovilles. The Carolina Reaper, which we've got some of, you're looking at 2 million on the Scoville scale. So, you know, you've got to experiment, but try a little bit at a time. So I'm going to chop some of these up, and we're going to get some garlic, and then some other bits and pieces go in there as well. So these are already cut into half. So I've got, if you sort of put them together, there's 3 there. So I'll chop them up, and then they can go in. Right, so I've got all the chilies chopped. They're going to go in now. Give that a good old stir. Now it does call for 4 garlic cloves. I'm going to put a tablespoon of garlic powder or garlic granules in it. So let's crack on with that now. $250ml of red wine vinegar. $50ml of balsamic vinegar. Now the recipe does call for 400 grams of jam sugar. I do half and half, so we've got jam sugar and we've got ordinary granulated sugar. Now I don't use 400 grams of jam sugar because jam sugar's got pectin in it, and if you cook it up for too long it turns like a jam and it can go quite sort of hard. I want the relish to sort of come together, but I want it to be able to sort of spread and this, that and the other, so I do half and half. 200 grams of granulated, 200 grams of jam sugar. You could use just granulated sugar, but just have to boil it for a bit longer. So I'll get that measured out and then we'll get on to the next steps. So we want a tablespoon of tomato puree. A tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Or for those people that can't read properly, Worcestershire. Give that a good stir. Should start looking something a bit like that. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that because it's a bit dark in here. Right, now we're going to pour the vinegars in. Give that a good old stir. And then the sugar goes in. We'll just let that sugar dissolve now. One last important ingredient, 2 bay leaves. Because they're only small, I'm going to put 3 in. We take them out before we jar it up. Right, I'm going to bring that up to a boil, sort of a hard boil for about 10 minutes. So once it's been boiling like that for 10 minutes, just going to keep stirring it, make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan. I'm going to turn it down now to simmer for about 20, 25, 30 minutes. and that should start thickening up a little bit. So just turn it right down and just let it tick away, and we'll leave it for about 25 minutes. I'm going to sterilise the jars now. Then there's various ways that you can sterilise the jars. Some people stand them up in an oven and switch the oven on and get them hot. We use the water method, where we fill the sink up with boiling water, submerge the jars in boiling water, take them out, tip all the water out obviously, fill the hot relish into the jars, wipe the lid off, or wipe the top of the jar, lid on, and then turn the jar upside down for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then you can turn the jar back up the right way, and it'll either, might not do it straight away, but it will pull the lid down and seal it. If it doesn't, you could leave it upside down for a bit longer. I've done other videos on all this, so I'm not going to get too involved with that. But yeah, so the next job after this 20-25 minutes is to jar it up, but you can see how to store it yourselves. Ideally, you want to leave this for 4 to 6 weeks to mature in the jar and let the flavours infuse a little bit. A lot of people can't wait that long because it does taste bloody amazing. Anyway, I'll be back with you when we get it all jarred up. That's it, all done. Got a nice little bit left over. Let that cool down and go in the fridge. We'll have that on my barbecue tomorrow. Got Mum and Dad coming over tomorrow. We're having a barbecue outside here. To me, it's quite mild. I'm hoping that the recipient of this thinks the same. If not, I can't do much more about that, really. There you go. So that's how you make it. If you want to make it at home, now you can. So this is the Ben's Garage famous chili relish, chili onion relish, whatever you want to call it. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you next video. Bye for now!